The American auto industry is bracing for impact. Ford CEO Jim Farley has issued a stark warning. He says that proposed tariffs threaten to unleash cost and chaos. His words sent shockwaves through corporate America. They underscore the high stakes of this economic standoff. Farley, a seasoned executive, understands the complexities of the global market. He knows that tariffs are not a simple solution. They are a blunt instrument, and they can have unintended consequences. His warning serves as a wake-up call. It highlights the potential damage to a vital American industry. The auto industry is already grappling with challenges. Supply chain disruptions have become commonplace. The transition to electric vehicles is costly and complex. New tariffs threaten to exacerbate these issues. Farley's warning is a plea for reason. He is urging policymakers to consider the broader economic fallout. The CEO's message is clear. Tariffs will hurt American businesses and consumers. They will disrupt supply chains, drive up prices, and cost jobs. Farley's warning is a reminder that economic policy has real-world consequences, and in this case, those consequences could be severe. President Donald Trump's shadow looms large over this economic drama. His America First agenda has returned to center stage. At the heart of this agenda lies a controversial policy: tariffs. Trump views tariffs as a tool to protect American jobs and industries. He believes they will force companies to bring manufacturing back to the United States. Trump's tariffs target a range of goods imported from China, Mexico, and Canada. These tariffs, he argues, will level the playing field. They will make it more expensive to import goods, and they will incentivize companies to produce domestically. His supporters cheer this approach. They believe it will revitalize American manufacturing. However, critics argue that tariffs are a form of economic protectionism. They warn that tariffs will harm consumers. They will lead to higher prices for everything from cars to clothing, and they will stifle economic growth. The debate over tariffs is a heated one. It reflects deep divisions over trade policy and globalization. Trump remains defiant in the face of criticism. He believes that tariffs are necessary to protect American interests. He is willing to weather the storm of opposition, and he is betting that the long-term benefits will outweigh the short-term costs. Only time will tell if his gamble pays off. The auto industry is particularly vulnerable to tariffs. Why? Because it relies on a complex global supply chain. Parts cross borders multiple times before a vehicle is assembled. Tariffs disrupt this intricate dance. They add costs and create delays at every stage. Ford, like other automakers, sources parts from around the world: steel from Canada, electronics from China, transmissions from Mexico. These parts come together in a carefully choreographed process. Tariffs throw this process out of whack. They create bottlenecks, increase paperwork, and slow down production. The tariffs' impact goes beyond Ford. They ripple through the entire industry. Suppliers, both large and small, face higher costs. They are forced to pass these costs along, or they are forced to absorb them, squeezing their profit margins. Dealerships face uncertainty. They worry about inventory shortages and rising prices. The auto industry thrives on efficiency and predictability. Tariffs introduce the opposite: chaos and uncertainty. They make it harder for companies to plan. They make it riskier to invest. And they threaten to undermine the industry's competitiveness. Tariffs are not just an abstract economic concept. They have real-world consequences for American families. One of the most immediate and tangible impacts: higher prices for cars and trucks. Experts estimate that tariffs could add thousands of dollars to the price of a new vehicle. For middle-class families already struggling with inflation, this is a heavy blow. Car ownership is essential for many Americans. They need cars to get to work, to school, to the grocery store. Higher car prices mean less money for other essentials. They mean tougher choices for families struggling to make ends meet. The impact extends beyond new car purchases. Tariffs also drive up the price of used cars. As new cars become more expensive, demand for used cars increases. This creates a ripple effect throughout the entire car market. Prices rise across the board. The tariffs' impact on car prices is a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of the global economy. What might seem like a policy aimed at other countries can hit close to home. In this case, it's American families who are feeling the pinch. A global battlefield. The tariff battle is not just about economics, it's about global power and competition. The U.S. auto industry is not the only one feeling the heat. Automakers around the world are grappling with the fallout from trade tensions. China, a major player in the global auto market, is feeling the pressure. Tariffs imposed by the Trump administration have hurt Chinese automakers. They have made it more difficult for them to sell cars in the US, and they have forced them to adjust their strategies. The European Union is also feeling the squeeze. The EU and the US have long been locked in a trade dispute. Tariffs on steel and aluminum have strained relations, and they have threatened to escalate into a full-blown trade war. The auto industry is caught in the crossfire. Automakers are caught between competing national interests. They are trying to navigate a complex web of tariffs and regulations. The outcome of this trade war will have lasting consequences for the industry and for the global economy. A history of headwinds. The relationship between Ford and former President Trump has been turbulent, to say the least. Trump has repeatedly targeted Ford for its global manufacturing footprint. He has criticized the company for moving production to Mexico, and he has threatened to punish Ford with tariffs. In 2016, during his presidential campaign, Trump famously vowed to bring auto jobs back to the US. He singled out Ford for its plans to build a plant in Mexico. He threatened to slap a 35% tariff on Ford vehicles imported from Mexico. Ford eventually scrapped those plans. The tension between Ford and Trump highlights the challenges facing American manufacturers. Companies are under pressure to reduce costs and remain competitive. This often means moving production to countries with lower labor costs, but it also means facing the wrath of politicians like Trump. Ford has tried to strike a delicate balance. The company has invested in U.S. plants, and it has emphasized its commitment to American workers. But it has also continued to manufacture vehicles overseas. This balancing act has become increasingly difficult in the current political climate. Public backlash. The public is watching this economic drama unfold with a mix of anxiety and frustration. Polls show that a majority of Americans disapprove of Trump's tariffs. They worry about the impact on prices and the economy, and they are skeptical that tariffs will bring back manufacturing jobs. Social media is abuzz with debate. Some users express support for Trump's tough stance on trade. They believe he is standing up for American workers. They argue that tariffs are necessary to protect American jobs, and they are willing to pay higher prices to support domestic manufacturing. However, many other users are critical of the tariffs. They argue that tariffs are a hidden tax on consumers. They point out that tariffs will hurt businesses and cost jobs, and they worry that tariffs will backfire, leading to a trade war that hurts everyone. The public's mixed reaction to the tariffs reflects a deeper unease about the direction of the country. People are worried about the economy. They are concerned about the rising cost of living, and they are looking for solutions. But they are divided on whether tariffs are the answer. The road ahead. The future of the U.S. auto industry hangs in the balance. The outcome of this economic clash will have far-reaching consequences. If tariffs remain in place, the industry faces a period of uncertainty and disruption. Higher costs will eat into profits, supply chain snarls will slow down production, and consumers will feel the pinch of higher prices. However, there is still a chance to avert disaster. The Biden administration could reverse course on tariffs. It could work to negotiate new trade deals that are fair and mutually beneficial, and it could invest in policies that support American manufacturing and innovation. The road ahead is uncertain, but one thing is clear: the stakes are high. The decisions made in the coming months will determine the fate of a vital American industry. They will shape the lives of millions of American workers and families, and they will have a lasting impact on the global economy.